Hey everybody, how is it going today? Well, last week I made a video about a company called Repair Therapeutics, and I talked about how ARK Invest had been accumulating this low float stock. Well, it looks like ARK Invest has been continuing to buy this stock, and now it has finally broken out and it looks to be racing higher. In this video, I'm going to show you where I bought it and what I expect it to do, as well as go over some other trading opportunities I see developing right now in the market. If you're new to my channel, I like to find short-term and long-term trading and investing opportunities in typically lower-priced stocks. I'm going to show you how I trade some of my favorite chart patterns which have helped me become a consistently profitable trader. Each video, I'll show you current trading opportunities that I see before they go up. Now, if that's something that interests you, please consider subscribing so you don't miss any future trading or investing opportunities. But please remember, I am not a financial advisor. I'm only showing you what I do and what I'm thinking, so please do all of your own research and make all of your own trading decisions. Now, ARK Invest was adding shares of Repair Therapeutics a few weeks ago, and I made a video about it, and I talked about how RPTX was also making a very bullish pattern. Well, it turns out ARK Invest was also buying RPTX last week as well. On November 19th, they added 5,300 shares. On November 18th, they added another 4,500 shares, and on the day before that, on November 17th, they added another 7,200 shares. And finally, on November 16th, they added another 4,300 shares for a total of 21,425 shares added for the week. Now, that might not sound like a lot, but when you're talking about a stock that normally trades under 100,000 shares a day, that represents a lot of buying for that issue. Now, it looks like supply is dried up for RPTX because the stock is breaking out and it looks like we are entering the markup phase of this trend. Let's head over to the charts and see what it looks like. Okay, right here we have the current daily chart of Repair Therapeutics, ticker symbol RPTX. As we can see, it is continuing the breakout from last Friday. I actually entered last Friday. I meant to do this video over the weekend, but I ran out of time, so I am doing it today. But as we can see, it has broke out nicely, and it looks like we could be heading into the trend acceleration phase. This was all accumulation, and I showed you how ARK Invest was accumulating it, and they were trying to keep it on the down low. But now supply has dried up, it's broke out, and you can see these days are starting to expand. As when there's still significant buying and supply is pretty much dried up, you get these expansion of days. Like, it's not these typical little days right here where there's still a little bit of supply left in the market. Right now, supply looks like it has dried up for the most part, and we should be entering the markup phase. But let me go intraday, and I will show you the trade signal. I will link the other video down in the description if you wanted to see how this trade set up and exactly what I was looking for. And this one just happened to play out pretty much perfectly. But that is what I am looking for in these trades. But let's go intraday and I'll show you. Okay, this is the hourly chart. And this was a little closer look at the accumulation. We got this really tight consolidation here. And that is representing when volatility starts subsiding. That means that supply is coming out of the market. And we had this huge breakout on Friday. And I got my shares at $30.14. But I bought it after it broke out, and it pulled back to this 8-period exponential moving average, and once it showed me that it looked like it was going to hold, that's when I got in, and it looks like it is moving higher today. We are probably entering the markup phase of this trend. Of course, anything can happen. A huge down day in the market can shoot this stock back into this consolidation, and it would negate this entire pattern, unfortunately. But that's what happens sometimes in the market. All you can do is get in when the market looks like it's heading higher and hope for the best. But let's go back to the daily real quick. But we can see that this breakout looks very healthy. I mean, we have a lot of volume coming in that's pushing it to higher prices. ARK Invest is a heavy buyer when they get into issues. And it looks like they are still interested because they were buying a lot last week. They had all buys and no sells, as far as I could see. So I expect RPTX to be breaking out to new highs before long. Nobody knows for sure, but I think that The chances look very good for a breakout on RPTX. Now let's go take a look at IDEX. That's the other stock that I was in that I just recently sold. All right, well, here is the one that I sold today. They are Ideanomics, ticker symbol IDEX. And as we can see, this one is having a massive update today. And that's when I tend to sell my positions. Sometimes when you get on these crazy bubble runs, it tends to be a little early, but I just tend to sell my stocks just a little bit early. I sold in the first hour of the day at $2.59. Right now, it's at $2.52, so it's basically right there. I mean, this stock could end up going higher. In fact, it wouldn't surprise me if it has a big update tomorrow, but it also wouldn't surprise me if it turns around and has a big down day tomorrow. So I tend not to get too greedy. And when the market gives me a 250% gain, I usually take it, especially when it happens in just a couple of days, because those moves tend to be not sustainable. So when I get a gift like that, I got no problem ringing the register. But let me go intraday, and I'll show you what I was looking at. You can also go to one of my older videos, and that will also show you how it was setting up. Let me get these things out of here. I'm gonna have to go back in time a little bit to get away from this big explosion it had, so we can see the days that I was looking at. Once the stock goes crazy to the upside, the time that I was looking at usually gets compressed, and it's harder to see unless I go back in time. Excuse me. But if I back out just a little bit, this is basically what I was looking at. I saw this upper resistance area. I saw when it was down here, and the lows started to rise. And then once you get that breakout, like you got right here, I like to wait and see if it's going to pull back and hold this resistance area. But once it gets above it, it becomes support. If it holds that support, gets back above that 8-period exponential moving average, then there is a good possibility that you could be entering an acceleration in that trend. And if I just move it forward, we can see exactly what happened. And now it looks to be going parabolic. I would guess we don't have very many up days left in this trend. I mean, you never know. The way the market is now, this thing could be at $10 in a couple days. Who knows? And of course, I'll be kicking myself for selling at $2.59. But normally, typically, when you get a huge move like this, you want to be ringing the register, at least on some of your position. I am 100% out of it. So I'm going to take my roughly 250% gain and head on to the next one. But let's get into some of the other charts of ones that I think could be starting their runs. All right, well, the first one I am going to go into is called RAVE Restaurant Group, ticker symbol RAVE. This is the one that I actually bought today. I bought some earlier in the day at 97 cents. I put this in a video last week, and I was waiting for it to start moving higher, which it did last Friday. I missed the entry last Friday, but I bought some today as it started to pull back in the beginning part of the day. Like I said, I got mine at 97 cents. It's at $1.02 right now, basically. So it's basically unchanged, but it is starting its acceleration move up. Let me go intraday, and I'll show you what I was looking at last week. But as we can see, it was forming this beautiful rounding bottom. And if I zoom in a little bit, you can see these big price spikes on the big volume spikes on the bottom. And this always represents accumulation. Just because you get these, it doesn't necessarily mean that the stock is going to take off. But once I start seeing these things going on, then it goes on my radar, and I wait for the trend to start to accelerate. And let me get these out of here real quick, and I'll show you what I was looking at. We had the lows starting to get higher, and they were putting pressure on those spike highs. So that was resistance from before. And I usually line it up with this one right over here when I was looking at it. But once it broke through that resistance area, it came back, it tested it, and moved back above it. That's when I should have got in, but I wasn't watching RAVE all that closely last Friday. So I got in today. So I got in, I probably paid another, 12% more than I should have, but I can't be watching everything super close. But anyway, I'm in. It looks like this is just the beginning part of this acceleration. Hopefully it gets another big move up like we're seeing in some of these other stocks. This one looks like it certainly could. Of course, there is no guarantees in the market, but this rounded bottom looks very, very healthy. And I expect this one to start moving up in the next coming days as well. All right, the next one I wanted to get into was BlackBerry. All right, well, here is BlackBerry, ticker symbol BB. And I was surprised to see this one pop up on my screener because I haven't heard this name in centuries. And as we can see, it is making a very nice rounding bottom. It's actually been quite volatile for a rounding bottom, but nevertheless, it looks like it could be rounding and headed higher. It's already above the 50 period simple moving average and the 200 period simple moving average. So those are always a good sign when you see those below the price. It makes it easier for the stock to trend higher. But if we go intraday, we can see the volatility on this rounded bottom. It's been quite sloppy. It looked like it was starting to break out higher here, but it fell back into the consolidation, and it looks like it could be trying again. And if it holds this area and starts to move higher, I think this one has a very good chance of going much higher in price, probably hitting the $7 to $8 range. But this one is on my watch list. It's not a buy just yet. I want to see it show just a little bit more strength before I get too excited. But it is definitely one worth keeping an eye on right now because it is making a very nice pattern. All right, the next one that I want to show you is Planet 13, ticker symbol PLNHF. And this one is making a beautiful triangle consolidation pattern. This one is absolutely textbook. It wouldn't surprise me one bit if this thing is higher in the next couple of days or weeks. If we go intraday to the hourly chart, you can see this pattern playing out a little bit clearer. Definitely have the lows starting to rise, which is indicating supply is drying up. And it wouldn't surprise me one bit if this thing explodes through resistance any day now. And in fact, probably all we need is just Ron Jeremy over there at Financial Education to put out another video on it, and this thing is going to be off to the races. But this one is definitely worth keeping on your radar if you like playing breakouts. All right, the last one I want to show you is EMCOR Corporation, ticker symbol EMKR. But this one is making a very nice rounded bottom breakout as we speak, and it's actually pulling back towards the buy area right now. And if we go intraday, let's go to the hourly chart. We can see this rounding bottom where the lows started to rise. That means supply is drying up, of course. And we draw that resistance area that now becomes support. We can see that it's pulling right back to it. So if this thing can hold this support area and get back above that 8-period exponential moving average, that would be my buy signal, because this one looks like it could be starting the markup phase and the trend acceleration of this pattern. So this one is definitely worth keeping an eye on. It's looking really good right now. It's pulling back pretty sharply today, but that's not that big of a deal because, I mean, look at the volume. The volume hasn't been that bad, compared to the up days. Get this thing to work. There we go. Compared to these up days, it's the down days aren't nearly as severe. So I think that this pattern still looks really healthy. And I think if it holds that support and gets back above that 8-period exponential moving average, I'm going to check, like news and earnings and things like that to make sure there isn't anything imminent coming out. But if it holds all that stuff, I think this will probably be another great stock for me to enter. But before I do get out of here, I do want to touch base on some of these EV stocks because they are starting to look a little bubbly. These price gains have been absolutely ludicrous. If it was me, I'd probably be taking a little bit off the table. I'm not trying to tell you guys what to do, but these things are looking awful long in the tooth. Even though solo today, I mean, this is an inside day. I mean, this is actually a bullish candle. So I would have expected to have seen these EV stocks be pulling back from some of these highs that they have been making a little bit more drastically than this. But I mean, they are holding their own, or at least solo is. I mean, let's go check out a couple other ones. UV. I mean, FUV is holding its own. That's basically an inside candle. I mean, that's a bullish sign. So who knows? I mean, these things could be going higher, but the mania in these EV stocks are crazy. They just seem like they're just going up just about every single day. Let's go take a look at NEO. Look at NEO's breaking out to new highs as we speak. I mean, you start looking at these on like weekly charts, and you can start seeing how parabolic they're looking. I mean, this is not sustainable, no matter how good the company is. So, I mean, if it was me personally, I would be trimming a little bit. Like I said, I don't want to tell you guys what to do with your money, but typically these patterns, they tend to come back down to earth eventually. But let's look at some other ones here. Another one that's been red hot is XPEV. I mean, oh my goodness, look at this thing today. I haven't even checked it today, and this just a bananas pattern. I mean, absolutely parabolic. When you go to the weekly chart, that's what I like to do when I see stocks starting to go up. Like really sharply. If I go to a time frame that's a little farther out, it usually makes it stand out compared to the previous chart or the previous days that are on the chart. The history of the chart basically. It brings it into more context for me when I go a little bit further out. Sometimes on the daily or the hourly, you really can't see it as well. But when you go further out, you can see the size of the move historically compared to how the stock usually moves. And when you look at patterns like this, it can be a little scary if you're still long. But these ones are starting to look rather bubbly. Another one that I have been watching is AYRO. This is another one in the space, and this one is going parabolic as well. I put a video out on this one probably a couple weeks ago. I never bought it. I mean, it looks like I definitely should have, but I can't buy everything. Another one that is taking back off is Workhorse. You can see Workhorse is starting to move higher, and this thing is probably going to be in new high ground any day now, because it doesn't look like there's any sign that it's going to be pulling back. Another one is GP, Green Power. I mean, look at this thing. It is going parabolic as well. So a lot of these EV stocks are starting to go absolutely crazy. Oh, another one was Blink Charging. Look at this one. I mean, just absolutely crazy. I mean, this was a big move that it had back in July and August, and now it's making that move look like nothing. I mean, it's all the way up over 30. But so if any of you guys that are in this stock, first off, congratulations, because what a fantastic move up this thing has had. But I just wanted to point out before I got out of here, man, these EV type stocks are starting to look bubbly. Of course, the leader of the pack is Tesla, and Tesla is breaking out to new highs. So I mean, this train might not be over yet, but wow, crazy move in the EV type stocks, and they are definitely going to be in play for at least another couple of weeks, it looks like. So I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on them. All right, everybody, I am going to end the video right there. But let me know in the comments sections if you're holding any of these stocks, especially if you're holding any of those EV stocks. I want to know how long you've been in them. If you got one of these huge gains, because these things have been going crazy. And honestly, it wouldn't surprise me one bit to see them go even higher, because they are still looking very healthy, especially Tesla and NEO. And they are the ones that are leading this charge. So let me know in that comment section if you're holding any of them. Please like this video if you enjoyed it, or if you got anything out of it. Please subscribe to the channel if you want to see any more of these trading opportunities. And well, that's it. Thank you so much for watching my video all the way to the end. And until next time, take care, everybody.